there's no agreement on what really the problem, the genesis of the problem was. But there's a reality here that you have a debt of 9.2 trillion shillings. I was looking at the medium-term statement from the National Treasury. It talks about 49% of that debt is in foreign currency, 68% of which is in dollar. So there's a big problem and a big challenge ahead of us. But how can the politicians in government fix this, if at all?
Yeah, let me first say what Mheshimiwa said regarding planning. That is the core of our problem in this country. Mm-hmm. You cannot have a situation where government submits supplementary budget mm-hmm. in the middle of March, to adjust their accounts, their payments, and so forth. And 2 weeks later, end of the month, you're not able to pay salaries. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Everything that the government does is budgeted for and appropriated by Parliament. There's no way you can wake up one morning and say, there was a debt we inherited, so we can't pay salaries. Suddenly things are just going south. No, there is a budget. If you went by the budget and you go by the appropriations, and there's no reason why you should be having a situation where you suddenly say, a debt has fallen due. Mm-hmm. Every public debt has a date when it is due. It's going to mature. You make provisions for it, mm-hmm. and it's provided for in the budget. So I think the situation is what I think mentioned even last night. I was just reading in Streets that the problem is the government is, it's not committed mm-hmm. to the budget. It is not. There is a lot that happens. And this is what I summarize always in my discussions as misplaced priorities. That's the challenge of this government. You cannot have the president of the country 2 months ago announce that the economy is now stable. Mm-hmm. That was just in March. Yeah. The economy is now stable. We would have gone, the same deputy president said, we would have gone at the time, mm-hmm. Like the way Sri Lanka went, if we had not organized things. Then 2 weeks later, you are coming back and saying, sorry, we are in crisis. So I think we are taking Kenyans for a ride in many of these things. Look,